Robert Kaplan is a former vice chairman at Goldman Sachs. He now teaches at the Harvard Business School. He has advised any number of CEOs, and he's also written a book about it called What to Ask the Person in the Mirror. Robert, the focus is on Leo Apotheker, but as Jon correctly pointed out, the questions right now also have to be raised of the board, not just the lead director, Ray Lane, but also everybody else at the board who brought Leo Apotheker in and who will remind everybody, if necessary, right, make countless mistakes over the past decade.
Well, listen, Leo Apotheker is not acted out of character. The board should have known what they were getting when they hired him. And it is clear he has not been able to articulate a clear vision for the company. And even with the changes they've made, as you said, he hasn't been able to articulate those. The problem is the board was involved in the strategy. The board did hire him. You're now hearing rumors from the board that not all of them met him. And frankly, the most alarming thing about this situation is not whether they fire him or not, it's the leaks. You know, this company has been plagued by board leaks time and time again. Remember the pretexting scandal? This is another situation. If they're going to fire Leo Apotheker, fine. But this is not the way. You don't leak it a day or two in advance.
Well, there was even that leaked memo. Remember, actually, we got hold of it, where he was urging executives to pinch pennies. I mean, even something like that, it's a communications gaffe, clearly. So do you think the board was trying to sabotage him from the beginning, or is that him?
He may have his own communication issues and leadership style issues. But this is the board needs to act in a unified way. It doesn't reflect well on the board, and it suggests that there maybe is a cultural problem inside the board. If you have certain people leaking and they're quote unquote unauthorized to speak for the board, you can imagine how upset other board members must be today to be reading all these rumors.
Yeah, Carly Fiorina, right? Mark Hurd, now Leo Apotheker. As you say, it implies a cultural problem.
So the board needs to get its act together. It needs to operate as a unit. If board members need to change, then they should change board members. But they need to all own the decisions they make. If they want to fire Leo Apotheker, fine. And they should take their time, but make sure they have a consensus and they own it.
So you're saying that they might come out with an announcement of somebody else taking over on an interim basis, but perhaps some changes in the boardroom as well?
Well, I don't think they're going to announce changes in the boardroom. They're going to have to first. You're going to hear an announcement on the CEO. But my guess is whoever ultimately is named new CEO, I think they would be wise to take a hard look at the board with the chairman, Ray Lane, and figure out why they're having all these leaks.
Well, do you anticipate potentially a situation here, Robert, not unlike the one we've got at Yahoo, where there is a mounting proxy campaign to get rid of some of the directors? In the case of Yahoo, it's Roy Bostock and some of the other people who have presided over a similar series of gaffes and ineffective leadership at Yahoo, not unlike what's going on at HP.
That's always a possibility, and you've got proxy season about to start, and I'm sure you'll hear shareholders voice their concerns, and the board's, I'm sure, aware of that.
You've worked with a ton of boards, Robert. I mean, is there some magic formula out there where you feel like there's this good balance between board leadership and a CEO?
Well, first of all, people forget, we always talk about company cultures. Boards have cultures too and need to be led. And so, first of all, CEO needs to articulate a vision with priorities. The board needs to make sure they evaluate the CEO and they own the vision and priorities. But also, the board needs to act as a cohesive unit in the same way a CEO runs a company. The leadership team needs to be cohesive. And when you've got board infighting, makes the CEO's job a lot harder. And so there may be a cultural issue also at this board. When you see these leaks, it tells me they need to all get themselves on the same page, and that would actually help the new CEO.
All right, so there's something endemically wrong at Hewlett-Packard. Robert Kaplan, thanks very much for joining us. He is a Goldman Sachs former vice chairman, also an author, tons of management experience, board experience, a good person to check in with this morning.